2 years ago, if you had told me that cruising would become our favorite way to travel, I definitely would have laughed. Neither Tony nor I grew up cruising. We don't come from families that took a cruise every summer. And we didn't know much about cruise ships, cruise lines, or even what happened once you got on board. In fact, I assumed cruising probably was not for us. But over the last 2 years, we've taken more than 15 cruises. We've sailed on everything from smaller, older ships to some of the largest cruise ships in the world. We've cruised through the Caribbean, Mexico, Alaska, and Europe. And we've traveled with friends, parents, and extended family. And somewhere along the way, cruising completely changed the way we think about travel. Our original reason for trying a cruise was actually pretty simple. We wanted to travel with friends and family. We enjoy traveling with other people, but planning a traditional group vacation can become complicated very quickly. You have to find a destination that everyone agrees on. You've got to choose hotels, restaurants, transportation, and activities. Some people want to relax, other people want to be busy all day. Some people want an expensive dinner. Other people want something casual. And the larger the group becomes, the harder it is to make everyone happy. Cruising solves many of these problems. Everyone travels together, but everyone does not have to spend every minute together. One person can sit by the pool, someone else can go to the gym, another person can watch a show, go to trivia, or visit the casino, or take a nap. Then everyone can meet for dinner and talk about what they did that day.
That has been one of my favorite parts of cruising. We have been able to bring our parents, friends, and other family members with us. We can make memories together, but nobody feels like they have to follow the same schedule all day. On a cruise, you can spend time together without feeling trapped together.
And because your hotels, restaurant, and entertainment are all in the same place, there are fewer decisions that the group has to make. We didn't realize how valuable that would be until we experienced it. Cruising made group travel easier, and it allowed us to introduce people we care about to places they may never have visited otherwise. Before our first cruise, I had a very outdated idea of who went cruising. I thought cruise ships were mostly filled with retirees, families with young children, and people celebrating anniversaries. There's an old saying that cruisers are either newlywed or nearly dead. That saying had definitely influenced how I pictured cruise travel. I had no idea how popular cruising had become among younger couples, groups of friends, and solo travelers.
Once we actually got on board, we saw almost every type of traveler imaginable. There were young couples, older couples, families, groups of friends, single travelers, and large multi-generational families. There were people who wanted a party, like me, and people who wanted to be asleep by 9 o'clock, like Nick. There were people who planned every minute and people who did absolutely nothing.
And the experience can also change dramatically depending on the ship, itinerary, and time of the year. A short Caribbean cruise can feel completely different than a 7-night Alaska sailing. A brand new Royal Caribbean ship can feel different than a smaller, older ship. A Mediterranean itinerary can attract a different mix of passengers than a weekend trip from Florida. We had thought of cruising as one specific type of vacation for one specific type of person. It is not. There is no single cruise experience, and there is no single type of cruise passenger. That was one of the first stereotypes we had to let go. So one of the biggest surprises for me personally was the quality of the entertainment, particularly on Royal Caribbean. I'm a musician, and both of my parents are professional musicians. I grew up around instrumentalists, vocalists, and performers, so I tend to pay close attention to the quality of live entertainment. Our first cruise was actually on MSC World Europa. There were some talented performers on that ship, and we had a good experience overall. But when we later started cruising with Royal Caribbean, the difference in the caliber of the entertainment was immediately noticeable to us. The quality of the vocalists, dancers, and musicians and production teams was on another level. Even on some of Royal Caribbean's smaller ships, we've seen performers who could easily work in major professional productions on land. On the larger ships, you may even have Broadway productions, ice skating shows, high diving performances, aerialists, live orchestras, and multiple music venues operating on the same night. And most of that entertainment, if not all of it, is included in the price of the cruise.
Before cruising, I do not think either of us realized how much there would be to do at night. You can go to dinner, see a major production, listen to live music, and then go somewhere completely different afterwards. And you do not have to leave the ship, find transportation, or buy another expensive ticket.
That became a major part of the value for us. If you went to a city and purchased tickets for several professional shows, paid for dinner, and then paid for transportation between all of those places, the cost would add up very quickly. On a cruise, it's all happening around you. And when people ask us why we return to Royal Caribbean so often, the entertainment is a major reason. It's not the only reason, but for us, it makes a significant difference. When people talk about the value of a vacation, they usually focus on money. How much was the hotel? How much were the flights? How much did the food cost? Those are all important questions. But there is another form of value that people often overlook: time. Time is our most precious resource. We all have a limited amount of vacation time. We've got jobs, responsibilities, and other things waiting for us at home. So when we travel, we want to use that time well. Imagine trying to visit Rome, Naples, Santorini, Mykonos, and Ephesus during one traditional land-based vacation. It can certainly be done, but you would spend a significant part of the trip packing, checking out of hotels, getting to the airports or train stations, waiting for transportation, and then checking into another hotel. Even when everything goes perfectly, moving between destinations can consume a large portion of the day. On a cruise, much of that travel happens while you sleep. You've got dinner, you watch a show, you go back to your cabin and you go to bed. And when you wake up, you are somewhere new. The same is true in the Caribbean. Instead of spending the day flying between Nassau, Jamaica, and Turks and Caicos, the ship moves you between destinations overnight. Your hotel travels with you.
You also do not have to repack your suitcase every few days. You unpack one time and the ship takes you to multiple places. That makes the trip feel much easier, especially when you are traveling with a large group.
And that is why we think cruising is an extraordinary value, even when you're paying the full cruise fare. You're not only paying for a room, you're paying for transportation between destinations, meals, entertainment, and access to the ship's amenities. But more importantly, you are preserving your vacation time. Cruising doesn't always let you explore a destination as deeply as a land-based trip. That's a real trade-off, and we'll always be honest about it. But it allows you to experience several destinations efficiently and decide which places you may want to return for a longer visit. Cruising saves us money in many situations, but it also gives us more usable vacation. That may even be more valuable. Another thing we wish we'd understood earlier is that you don't need to purchase every package or upgrade to have a great cruise. Cruise lines are very good at selling extras. Before you sail, you're probably going to be offered a drink package, specialty dining, internet, spa treatments, excursions, photographs, cabanas, and many other upgrades. Some of those things may improve your vacation, but none of them are automatically necessary. We do not normally purchase a dining package. We think the included food on Royal Caribbean is perfectly fine for us. The buffet gives plenty of choices, and we enjoy eating in the main dining room. You do have to set realistic expectations. The main dining room is serving a very large number of passengers. Every individual plate is not being prepared from beginning to end by one chef in a small restaurant kitchen. Food's being produced in large quantities and served efficiently. But we still have had many meals that we enjoyed, and we don't feel like we need specialty dining every night.
We may occasionally pay for something special, but we do not feel pressured to upgrade every meal. There is already a lot of food included in the cruise fare.
The same principle applies to drinks. Because of our current status in Royal Caribbean's Club Royale casino program, we receive drinks in the casino while it's open, so buying a full drink package would not make sense for us. But even before someone has casino status, a drink package is not automatically a good value. You need to look at what it costs per day, how much you realistically drink, and whether you'll even be on the ship for much of the day. A package may be convenient, but convenience and value are not always the same thing. You can take a wonderful cruise without buying every add-on that appears in the app. The cruise line will continue offering things for you to purchase. You've got to decide what extras actually improve your experience. Although cruising can provide a lot of value, Beginners should understand that the cruise fare is not the entire vacation cost. This is especially important for people like us who don't live near a cruise port. If you live in Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Galveston, or another port city, you may be able to drive to the terminal on the morning of the cruise. That is a major advantage. We live in the middle of the country, so almost every cruise begins with flights. That means we've also got to consider luggage, airport transportation, and usually a hotel the night before the cruise. Those costs can sometimes equal or exceed the cruise fare itself. We've found ways to reduce those expenses by using airline miles, travel rewards, and companion certificates. I've opened several travel credit cards when the introductory offers made sense for us. We have used those offers to earn airline miles and benefits that help us cover flights. But I want to be very clear about how we approach that. We pay our balances in full every month. We don't carry credit card debt in order to travel.
And even when we use miles, we still plan for the other costs. There may be a hotel, meals the night before, transportation to the cruise terminal, and tips throughout the trip.
Another thing we didn't fully understand was how gratuities worked. Cruise lines generally add a daily gratuity charge to your onboard account. That money is distributed according to the cruise line system. On our sailings, we've also been able to speak with guest services and adjust those automatic gratuities when we prefer to tip individual crew members directly in cash, and that's the approach we often, almost always use now. We make sure that we tip the people who take care of us, including our room steward and dining staff. We're definitely not suggesting that people avoid tipping. Cruise ships have members that work extremely hard, spend long periods away from their families, and play a major role in the experience we receive. We simply prefer being able to personally thank the people who provided our service.
Whatever method you choose, gratuities should be included in your vacation budget. It is easy for a first-time cruiser to overlook them when comparing cruise prices.
The important thing is to understand the system before you travel and choose an approach that allows you to appropriately recognize the crew. Before we started cruising frequently, we assumed the newest and largest ship would automatically provide the best vacation, and we found that that's not always true. Of course, we love the large ships. They've got incredible entertainment, more restaurants, more activities, and neighborhoods that almost feel like separate destinations. But larger ships can also have more people, require more reservations, and sometimes make the experience feel less spontaneous. Smaller and older ships may not have every new attraction, but they can offer a more relaxed experience. They may also visit ports that the largest ships cannot access, and they're often significantly less expensive.
Some of our favorite memories have not happened on the newest or most expensive ship. They happened because of the people we were with, the crew we met, or the places we visited.
The best ship depends on what you want from that particular trip. If your priority is entertainment and activities, a large ship may be perfect. If your priority is the itinerary, you may be better served by a smaller ship. If you're traveling with a large family, you may value a ship with more choices. But if you want a quiet trip, you may prefer something completely different. Do not assume that more expensive automatically means better. Choose the ship that matches the vacation you actually want. Now let's talk about cabins. Selecting a cabin can feel like one of the biggest decisions before your first cruise. Should you book an interior room? Do you need a balcony? Is a suite worth it? We've stayed in several different categories, including interior rooms, balcony cabins, junior suites, and larger suites. Each one has advantages, but a more expensive cabin does not guarantee a better vacation. A suite can provide more space, additional service, and certain benefits. A balcony is wonderful when you're sailing through Alaska or arriving at a beautiful port. But if paying for that upgrade creates financial stress, it's probably not worth it. You can have an incredible trip in an interior cabin. Many people spend very little time in their rooms because there's so much happening throughout the ship.
It depends on how you travel. Some people want the cabin to be part of the destination. Other people only use it to shower and sleep.
We enjoy suites when the price and benefits make sense, particularly when we receive an upgrade or a strong offer. But we would rather take more cruises in a less expensive cabin than take one trip and overspend just so that we can say we stayed in a grand suite. The best cabin is the one that fits your budget and your travel style. Now, people who have found our channel through our casino videos may be surprised to hear us say this. You don't have to gamble to love cruising. We talk about casino strategy because it became one way for us to reduce the cost of future cruises. We enjoy gambling as entertainment, we establish a budget, and we've received valuable cruise offers through Royal Caribbean's casino program. But cruising was already a strong value before we ever received those offers. The shows, meals, ports, activities, and time with our family do not depend on the casino. And of course, no cruise offer is worth creating any financial stress or gambling with money that you need for something else.
We know plenty of people who never enter the casino and still have an amazing time.
The casino is one part of the ship. For us, it became a useful part of our cruise strategy. For someone else, it may have no role at all. That is one of the great things about cruising. You can build the vacation around what you really enjoy. We've reached the conclusion that cruising can work for far more people than we originally believed. It can work for solo travelers. We've had several single friends who have cruised with us and had a great time. They can join the group when they want company and still have their own space.
I also think cruising can be helpful for people who feel nervous about traveling internationally. You can visit a new country during the day and return to the familiar feeling of the same ship at night. You have the same room, the same restaurants, and a place that already feels familiar.
Cruising may not be perfect for someone who wants to spend several days deeply exploring one destination. If you want to live like a local for a week, take long day trips, or experience a city late into the night, a land vacation may be a better choice. But if you want to sample multiple destinations, travel with a group, and have much of the planning handled for you, cruising is an excellent option. Some of the most meaningful things cruising has given us have nothing to do with the ship itself. They are the memories that we've been able to create with our families. Tony has a story that I think explains this better than anything else we could say.
My mom and several members of my family have always been afraid of the ocean. That fear came from something very personal. Our family lost someone we loved by drowning. Because of that tragedy, the ocean was not associated with relaxation or happy memories. It was something they feared. They did not spend much time around water, and the idea of being on a ship was very uncomfortable for them. When we first talked about taking them on a cruise, I did not know how my mom would respond. But we have watched her slowly become more comfortable. We have watched her stand on the ship, look out over the water, and enjoy it. She has been able to laugh, relax, and make new memories with our family. It does not erase what happened, but it has allowed her to experience the ocean in a different way. And being able to share those positive memories with her has meant a lot to us.
That is one of the greatest gifts cruising has given our family. It's not the suite, it's not the free cruise offer, it's not the particular ship. It's watching someone we love confront a fear and create a new relationship with something that once represented loss. When we look back at our cruises, those are the moments that matter. When we think about what we wish we had known before our first cruise, it is not one secret, one booking trick, or one item that we forgot to pack. We wish we'd understood that cruising could be whatever we wanted it to be. It could be a family vacation, could be a romantic trip, relaxing, could be busy. It could take us to several countries in 1 week, or it could simply give us a place to slow down. We wish we had known that we did not need to purchase every upgrade. We wish we'd known that the newest ship was not always the only ship worth taking. We wish we'd understood the complete cost, including flights, hotels, transportation, and gratuities.
We also wish we had known how much we would enjoy bringing other people with us. Some of our favorite cruises have been the ones where we introduce someone else to cruising for the first time.
Most importantly, we wish we had known how quickly travel could become more than collecting destinations. The ports are important, the ships are exciting, but what stays with us is the time we spent with the people we love. 2 years ago, we did not consider ourselves cruise people. We had stereotypes, we had doubts, and we had no idea what we were doing. Now, more than 15 cruises later, cruising has become our favorite way to experience the world. It has taken us to places we may have never visited otherwise. It's allowed us to travel with friends and family. It's given us great entertainment, incredible views, and more vacation time by moving us between destinations while we sleep. but the greatest value has been the memories. Thanks for watching, and if this has been helpful for you, make sure to like and subscribe to Travel with Nick and Tony. We'll see you on the next cruise.